Okay. Educational psychology, originally proposed by the psychologist law of learning, Thorndike, trial and error. A human connect action outcomes, return information, modify behaviors. Three primary laws. Law of readiness. Learning is only effective when person is physically. Three primary laws. Learning law. Law of readiness. Law of exercise. Law of effect. Traditional law of learning. Law of primacy. Law of intensity. Law of recency. Learning is only effective when a person is physically and mentally prepared. Law of readiness. Cannot force information onto unmotivated or fatigued mind. Force information. Trying to do so cause frustration. Of exercise often summarized. Practice makes perfect. Law has two parts. Law of use. Repeated practice strengthens learning. Disuse. Effect. Action followed by satisfying. Outcomes are more likely to be repeated. Action followed by satisfying or pleasant. Behaviors that lead to unpleasant or uncomfortable. Law of effect. Behavior that lead to unpleasant, uncomfortable. Results are avoided. Behaviors that lead to unpleasant or uncomfortable. Behaviors that lead to unpleasant. Results are avoided. Positive reinforcement. Action followed by satisfying or pleasant outcome. Behaviors that are unpleasant, uncomfortable. Action followed by satisfying or pleasant outcomes. While behaviors that lead to unpleasant, uncomfortable. Results are avoided. Action followed by satisfying or pleasant outcomes. More likely the additional law. First impression are incredibly strong. First are often deeply embedded in memory, meaning the initial introduction. Accurate and positive. Three additional law. Intensity. Vivid, exciting, dramatic learning. Teaches more. Teaches more than a dull or routine. Engaging activities like role playing, simulation, hands-on demonstration. Principle that people best remember the most recent information. Earlier material that might otherwise be forgotten. Love recency. The principle that people best remember. They have covered regular unit reviews. Essential for returning earlier material. principle that people best remember the most recent information. Regular annual reviews, caps. The intensity, a vivid, exciting, or dramatic learning. More than a dollar routine. Additional laws of learning. Concept their first impression are incredibly strong. First are often deeply embedded. Essentially principle that actually best remember the most recent information they have covered. Essential retention. Reviews or recaps. Review are essential for returning earlier material. Review recaps regular and forgotten. Intensity, a vivid, exciting, dramatic learning experience teaches more than a doll. It is forgetting. Causes of forgetting. Forgetting the inability to retention, or access information that was previously stored in memory. Or access information. It is a natural cognitive process. Where memory is either completely temporarily unavailable. It is a natural cognitive process. What is natural? It is a natural cognitive process where memory is completely fade or become temporarily unavailable. Physical biological factors. Physiological changes. Forgetting right causes. Forgetting right the causes forget. Physical or biological factors. Also physiological changes. Forgetting physical biological factor. Physiological changes, medical condition, lifestyle factors affect brain ability. Physiological changes. Medical condition. Ability to process and store memory. Triggers, chronic stress, lack of sleep, nidra, poor nutrition, alcohol use, brain injury, chronic stress, lack of sleep. Even physical or biological factors also. That is forgetting. Motivated forgetting. We unconsciously or consciously force motivated. Force unwanted, traumatic or highly embarrassing. Traumatic. Out of our conscious awareness to protect our mental well-being. We unconsciously or consciously force traumatic or highly embarrassing. Force करिए unwanted. Unconsciously or consciously force. सचेतन असचेतन. Traumatic or highly embarrassing. Out of our conscious awareness. Protect our mental well-being. We unconsciously or consciously force traumatic or highly embarrassing. Physical or biological factor. motivated. Retrieval failure, retrieval concept. Memory is safely stored, but you cannot access it due to lack of proper cues. Tongue phenomenon. You know the information, but the exact mental path to retrieve it is blocked. Retrieve. Retention. Poor nutrition. Encoding failure concept. Information is never properly stored in the first place. Of course, due to the lack of attention or failure to process the data deeply enough to commit it form. Term memory. Due to lack of attention or failure to process the data. Due to lack of attention or failure to process the data deeply enough to commit it from short-term to long-term memory. The occurs due to lack of attention. The information was never properly stored in the first place. Because due to lack of attention or failure to process the data deeply enough to commit it. Interference. The concept memories compete and disturb one another, making it difficult to access. Proactive interference. Old memories hinder your ability to recall or learn. Retroactive. New information or experiences make it harder to recall older memories. Retroactive interference. New information or experience make it harder to recall old memories. New information or experiences retroactive interference. Proactive interference. Proactive interference. Old memories hinder your ability to recall or learn new information.